Hello out there, YouTube viewers, and this is Shawnie from Talk Truth with Shawnie, and this is another Shawnie Time Out. YouTube viewers, I would like to take time out to say a big shalom to my Hebrew brothers and sisters who are out there. I love you, family. I truly do, and you know that I do. And to the rest of you YouTube viewers, I would like to say good morning to you. YouTube viewers, if you follow my channel, then you know that I like to rise early in the morning, and sometimes I make YouTube videos and put them up and upload them to YouTube. But this morning in particular, I rose early in the morning and I'm sitting at the kitchen table and I'm watching the news on TV. And all of a sudden, YAH reminded me of something that happened a few years ago. And I want to share it with you. A few years ago, I used to have a big store on Broad Street in Newark, New Jersey. And I remember that when I had the store, I would say for about the first 6 months of me having the store, all of a sudden a man, a very tall black man who had dreadlocks, and he looked kind of dirty and his clothing was kind of dirty. But like I was saying, I believe it was the first 6 months of me having the store. He just came from nowhere. And he used to sleep by the garbage dumpster. And when the garbage men came to pick up the garbage, I don't even think they knew that he was sleeping by the dumpster. But my point is this. Every morning when I used to go to work, I used to see him there. And you know what? I never bothered him. I used to always say good morning and how are you to him. And then I would go about my way and walk around to the front part of my store and open up my store and wait for my employees to come. And one day I remember he was in the back of the store and he was sleeping. And I had bought some Kentucky Fried Chicken for my staff who worked for me. And it just came up in my heart to go and give him some food. So I walked out of the store with a big old plate of food and, you know, something to drink for him. And I went back there and I found him and I asked him, would he please take the plate of food, you know? And he took the plate of food and he said, thank you. And I didn't think nothing of it. And that began his and I friendship with one another of just saying hello and how are you? Well, I want to tell you something, brothers and sisters. I was in a real bind one day. And what I mean by that is my car would not start for absolutely nothing. I kept trying to get my car to start. And my employees, all of them had left my store for the day. And I walked around to the back of the store and I was trying to get my car started and it just absolutely would not start. So I went back into the store, you know, I called my mom, my dad, I called my sister, my brother-in-law, you know, just my family members, and I could not find no one. No one was answering their phone. And I started to get upset and I started to cry because I am not from Newark, New Jersey. Not that anything is wrong with Newark, but I'm not from Newark. So I just had a store in Newark, but I'm not from there. And I started to get upset because I knew that my mom and my dad had always told me that when it gets nighttime, get out of Newark. Don't be in Newark. So I started getting upset. But like I said, I couldn't find anybody. And I went back. I was led to go back to my car and try to start it up again. I went back to my car and I tried to start it up again and it was deader than the doorknob. So then I was led to stay in the car and not get out the car. Well, let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. That same man that I told you slept by my garbage dumpster, who I spoke to every morning that I came to work and who I took plates of food to, he came walking down the street and around the corner. And when he turned that corner, he saw me in the car and he spoke to me and he asked me what was wrong, because like I explained to you before in a previous video, sometimes I wear my emotions in my face. He saw that I was upset and he asked me what was wrong. And I told him I couldn't get my car started. And he told me, he said, pop the hood. And I popped the hood. And I'm going to tell you something. That man fixed my car. And he told me, he said, start it up. He was checking various things to see what was going on. But then when he finally analyzed it and fixed the problem, he told me, he said, start it up. And I started it up. And my car started. And you know what, brothers and sisters? I'm going to tell you something. After that day, I never saw that man again. And I say this to you and make this video to you, brothers and sisters, because it is meant for someone. Do not look down on homeless people. Do not look down on people who may appear to look dirty or dingy or homeless. Don't look down on them, because you never know who you are talking to, and you never know who YAH will send your way to help you in a tight situation. Look at what YAH did for me. All that time that man was sleeping in back of that store, and I did not know that I would be in trouble where my car wouldn't start later on down the line. But you see, YAH knew. And I fully believe YAH sent that man in back of my store. If it was a man, he looked like a man, but I don't know. It could have been an angel. But I believe YAH sent that man in back of that store for that time frame, because he knew that my car was not going to start one day. And that man happened to come around that corner at the very last time that I was going to sit in my car. And I kept being led to wait in my spirit, to wait right there. And here comes that man around the corner. Now, what if I never would have spoke to that man? What if I never would have fed that man? What if I never would have just been kind to that man and treated that man the way that I would like for that man to treat me, regardless of his situation or circumstance? I say that to say, don't look down on people. You know, I remember a story in the Word of YAH where Yeshua, he was in the temple, and after he had got done speaking, he sat down next to the place where they give alms and they give money at for people. And Yeshua sat there for this one woman to come, you know, and when she came, she threw in what she had, and she gave out of her need, not out of her want or necessity. She gave what she had. It was going to cost her something to give what she had. But yet, my point is this: YAH sent, because every footstep Yeshua took was ordered by YAH. YAH sent his son to be in the temple, to sit at that place for however long it took for that woman to come. And then when she came, a truth was revealed in her giving. I want you to think about that, brothers and sisters. And treat people like you want them to treat you, regardless of what their situation is. And I was led of YAH to speak about this morning. YAH brought it back to my remembrance because it happened a while ago. But yet, YAH reminded me of it today to share with you. In all that you do today, I ask YAH to bless everything that you do, and have a beautiful day today. Shalom and bye-bye. Until the next time.